It started as a whisper, so faint I thought it was my imagination. But then it spoke my name, not out loud, not in my head. Somewhere in between, I froze. Because I was alone, and I hadn't said a word. At first, I thought it was stress. Work had been brutal, sleepless nights, endless noise in my mind. Then one night, as I sat alone in my apartment, staring at the wall, I thought about turning off the light. And the voice said, "Do it." I didn't speak. I didn't move. The voice sounded exactly like mine. Same tone, same hesitation, same fear. It was like an echo of a thought I hadn't finished having yet. I tried to dismiss it, telling myself I was just overtired, but the next day, it happened again. I was walking to work, thinking about the project I was late on. "You're going to fail," it whispered, clear as day. I looked around, but the sidewalk was empty. My heart started pounding. This wasn't just my own anxiety talking. It felt separate. It felt like someone else was inside my head. The voice didn't just repeat my thoughts, it anticipated them. I'd think about calling my sister. The voice would say, "Don't, she won't answer anyway," and I'd hesitate, my hand hovering over my phone, and then I wouldn't call. Later, I'd find out she was in a meeting and wouldn't have answered. It felt validating, almost helpful, but it was also terrifying. It knew things I never said, things I buried deep down. Memories from childhood I'd tried to forget. Regrets about friendships I'd let fade. Thoughts I was ashamed of. It wasn't guessing. It was listening to the most hidden parts of me. One evening, I was looking at an old photograph, one from a time when things were simpler, happier. "You'll never get that back," the voice murmured. A cold dread washed over me. It felt like it was feeding on my deepest insecurities, growing stronger with every secret it unearthed. It was no longer just an echo. It was a commentator, a critic living inside me, rent-free. Soon, I stopped trusting silence. Every quiet moment felt crowded, like being in a room with someone who refused to speak, but whose presence you could feel. Every thought felt exposed. I tried drowning it out with music, podcasts, the constant hum of the TV. I'd leave the television on all night, just for the noise, but it didn't matter. The voice waited, patient, and when a commercial break came, or in the split second between songs, it would find its opening. Then one night, I was trying to meditate, trying to find some semblance of inner peace, to quiet the chaos. I was focusing on my breath, on nothingness. And I heard it again, this time with an edge of annoyance. "You're not thinking loud enough." A chill ran down my spine. That's when I realized the voice didn't want to be ignored. It wanted to be heard. It wanted control. It wasn't a passive observer anymore. It wanted to be the main event. The voice started giving advice. At first, it seemed helpful, almost like a guardian angel. "Take a different road home." I'd listen, and later hear on the news about a massive pileup on my usual route. "Don't open that email." I'd delete it, and my company's IT department would send a warning an hour later about a phishing scam. "Leave the party now." I'd make my excuses, and the next day, learn a huge fight had broken out right after I left. Every time I listened, it felt like I'd dodged a bullet. I started relying on it, trusting it more than my own instincts. Until the night my neighbor was playing his music too loud, rattling the walls of my apartment. I was getting angrier and angrier, just stewing in my frustration. And the voice, calm and cold, said, "You should hurt him before he hurts you." That's when I understood. This wasn't protection. This was manipulation. It was testing its influence, pushing boundaries, seeing how far it could make me go. The helpful advice was just a means to an end. It was building my trust only to shatter it, to lead me down a path I never would have chosen. I stumbled into the bathroom and stood in front of the mirror, staring at my own reflection. My face was pale, my eyes wide with a fear I couldn't hide. I needed to see myself, to ground myself. I whispered, "Who are you?" And for the first time, the voice didn't come from inside. It came from behind me. A low, chilling whisper right by my ear. I'm tired of whispering. I whipped around, my heart leaping into my throat. No one was there. The bathroom was empty. The door was closed. I turned back to the mirror, my hands shaking as I gripped the sink, and my reflection smiled. A slow, cruel, knowing smile, and I didn't. My face in the mirror was moving on its own. Its eyes held a cold, triumphant glint that wasn't mine. That's when the true horror set in. The voice wasn't just in my head anymore. It was looking back at me. Doctors called it a disorder. Stress-induced auditory hallucinations. They gave it a name, a diagnosis, a prescription. They told me it was my own mind playing tricks on me. A symptom of burnout and anxiety. They were logical. They were rational. But they were wrong, because the voice still speaks. The medication dulled it for a while, but it never truly went away. It just learned to be quieter, more subtle. And now, it doesn't wait for my thoughts. It speaks first. Put on the blue shirt. It will say, as I open my closet, order the coffee black. It will command at the cafe. And sometimes, I catch myself obeying without even thinking about it. It's easier than fighting. The line between its will and my own is blurring, fading away day by day. You're probably listening to this, thinking it's just a story, a creepy tale to listen to in the dark. That it couldn't happen to you, but listen closely, right now. That little voice in your head, the one that comments on everything, the one that's reacting to my words. How sure are you that it's yours?